Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to our first Monday Motivation with Jen McNally. And I'm super grateful as well to Heather Phipps of Millard Public Schools for joining us here on our Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Really just the opportunity for a live session here for us to just kind of get grounded as our week begins and some motivation. And I was as I was reflecting on us getting this started today, I was really also thinking a lot about Dr. King, and that this is a motivational day anyway, normally, because of all that Dr. King stood for. And so I think we'd be remiss if off the top we didn't just kind of acknowledge that. I'm so grateful for the leader that he was, for the dream that he advocated for, and the legacy that he's left all of us. And so if you can't find motivation in and of itself from that, but it shows how important it is for there to be leaders out there that seek to motivate not only just individuals, but those of us just systemically, like across the entire country. And I'm excited for this to be play a small role in that kind of effort as well, right? So this is our first Monday motivation. So right off the top, before we kind of get into it, just want to explain our heart behind this. And, as Jen and I were talking a little bit before the winter break, we were saying, hey, education is tough in normal times. And that first semester, we navigated beautifully, but it was also very challenging. And we thought in January and February, we want to come together and support educators in an additional effort to just make sure that we're all in a great place in being able to take care of ourselves so we can be there in support of others. And we're not a national narrative like us educators. We're not cogs in a machine. We're people with big hearts and bright ideas. And I think that for us to continue to carry that responsibility and light that we are, we're just gonna have to be there for each other. And so this is really the heart behind why we want to do this, to just do our small part to be.
Oh. Frozen on live. It's going to happen when you're going to be on live. So
that means it's all to you, Jen.
He's saying amazing things right now. He's just frozen. There he is. He's back.
Am I back? I don't know what you missed on it there. It lagged on my end. I'm just going to say,
you're back.
Jen, do you want to share your heart for kind of this initiative?
Well, yeah, I think you really touched on it. It's about setting intentions and standards for our week that all of us start even before Monday morning. Teachers are already working sometimes on the weekend and thinking about those lesson plans the following week, and administrators and custodians and bus drivers, everybody that works in education is thinking about what can we do next week. And, I just think this was such a cool idea to have 10 people across our state who I happen to have such profound respect for, and who I know lead with that purpose and intention of helping others, but also they take care of themselves too, and they lead by that example. So no better person to have me, and she is so kind to be like, I was just like, oh gosh, I'm going to send this email. What should I say? what am I going to get her? And of course, Dr. Heather Phipps, Millard Public Schools, didn't even hesitate, said yes. Now, all of you watching know Dr. Phipps, or have heard of her if you work in education, and if not.
Well, I'll show you how much love she is getting. Check out all the comments we're getting in, that people are just talking you up here and sending some love to you, Heather. And so just know that we're with you today, and grateful for you joining us. Go ahead, Jen. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to bring in our viewers.
When I think of Dr. Heather Phipps, I think of many things, because she just empowers me. Like sometimes I have ideas and then I'll say, I don't know. And she'll just say, do it, go for it, just lead with it. And there's a story that resonates. I want to just share it quickly. I know we want to do 10 minutes or less, but I want to share this about Dr. Phipps just quickly to get the understanding for everybody who doesn't know her, the person who she is. And I get goosebumps already, but I've gotten to know her so well over this last year. And a story that I heard was Dr. Phipps used to be a principal, and in her school, Millard, we have the person I'm talking about, who is now a principal, was one of her teachers in the building when she was a principal. And they said something about Dr. Phipps that just still fills me with such joy. This person said, I was having a tough time. I needed to talk to somebody. I knew I was going to go talk to Dr. Phipps. I knocked on her door. She was in the midst of all these things that she had to do. Her whole desk was full of things. And as an administrator, we all know that, right? Principals, we just know there's so much. And this person said that Dr. Phipps didn't hesitate. She took all that paper. She even did this visual in the Zoom, went with her arm and just went, moved everything to the side, leaned in to that person to be heard and seen and said, tell me how I can be helpful. And to me, there's stories like that with her a million times over, but I wanted to share that one because it's just so who she is. And that's why I always reach out to her, because I know that she will be honest and kind and true. And I couldn't be more excited, if you can't tell.
Heather, how's that for an introduction?
Oh my gosh, you're going to make me cry on a Monday morning.
She's great.
Thank you, Jen.
Well, we are super grateful to have you here, Heather, to share with us, and this will be our format, the quote of the week. And so you got a chance to pick this quote. Here's our little lead in for it. Ready? We'll build some hype. And if you would, Heather, lead us through it.
Okay. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style, by the one and only Maya Angelou.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay, so Jen, that was so sweet. Thank you for sharing that story. As you were sharing that, I was thinking, some days I do that really well, and some days I absolutely stink at doing that. So truly, this quote is about me making sure that I'm taking care of myself so that I'm bringing my best self to the week. Because when I fall apart and when I am not a good support for students or parents or teachers, is when I'm not in a good place myself. So I think that this work that you're doing and the idea, I love how you both described grounding, a little grounding on a Monday morning for the week. The idea that if we take care of ourselves and if we spend a little bit of time, especially at the beginning of a day, at the beginning of a week, which is why this is perfect, thinking about what it is we can do to really be our best selves, then we can bring that best self to other people, and we'll be a little more patient when somebody calls that they're having a bad day. We'll be a little more responsive. We'll listen better. And I think this quote just nails it for me. The last 10 months have been hard. Like you said at the beginning, Andrew, man, education is hard in a good year, and we're in a global pandemic. So this stuff is hard. But my goal for our students and my goal for our teachers and for our administrators who are doing incredible work is not that they just survive. The goal is to thrive. Life is short. We get one spin around this. So we need to thrive. And I like how Maya Angelou, who, I mean, her words speak to me always in every way, shape, and form. But she talks about passion. So educators, we don't have to work too hard to find passion. Like passion just oozes out of educators. That's why you got into it. You got into it for students. You got into it to help other teachers. Like passion is easy for people who work in education, because that's why we're here. Compassion, are we really caring about other people? I don't think that's hard for educators either. I think that educators are all about helping students. But I think sometimes we're not giving enough compassion to ourselves, making sure that we're giving compassion to each other in hard times, that we're really reaching out, like bringing a coffee to the person who's in the room next to you, pushing those papers aside when somebody comes in because they need to talk, even if they're not stressed out, even if they just want to share what they did over the weekend. That connection with other people is compassion for them, seeing them, hearing them. Then humor. If we are not laughing right now, we are in trouble, because this stuff is weird. You can't make this stuff up. So you got to look at this with some humor. Yeah, got to be funny. And then I like that she kicks in a little sense of style, because frankly, you know what? If you're going to spend your day on Zoom, put some cute earrings in. You know, Jen always talks about, hey, I washed my hair for you guys today. I care. I washed my hair for you today. I love when she says that. Like, that's that little bit of style. I feel better about myself. I just think it's a great quote. And I couldn't it's so great that you shared that story, Jen. Thank you. That really, really touched my heart. And it's such a good reminder for me that the more I'm taking care of myself, the more I am able to give that care to other people. When I'm not doing well, I can usually look back and go, okay, that's because I didn't feel my best. I was tired, or I was frustrated, or I was hungry, have a snack. But when I'm my best self, then I'm usually really better at helping other people be their best selves.
I love that. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of speechless because, I mean, you know, it's like a little mini, thank you for coming to Dr. Phipps TED Talk this morning. I mean, right? I just like mic drop. This is exactly why we wanted to do this. It inspires everything, your words, your passion. I just couldn't be more thankful that you're here today, helping everybody listening to just really reflect and reframe so they can recharge themselves. And you've heard me say that many times, so they can resume into those things that, you know, even Dr. Phipps talked about those micro moments of joy, things that spark joy, things that are purposeful. And so I love that. And when I think about when we go this next part of leaning in, so to speak, you know, Andrew, I don't know about you, but I feel like that's just exactly what we're going to go through now. We're going to talk about that now, but it really sets that momentum.
Yeah, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and talk about each week. This will be part. What's that?
We're going to be so on point by the time that is done with these transitions. I hope everybody who's watching it, like, this is so human, right? We're just figuring it out as we go.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. This is going all right. We're fine. And so what I'd say with this is this is part 2 for those of you checking it out of our segment each time, where we are going to take a little time to kind of maybe have a bit of a call to action. I will say maybe very briefly before we get to that too, that the quote that you see here, again, thank you to Dr. Phipps for, we're going to post on our socials so that you can continue to have that message up in front of you throughout this week and next week in between these sessions, so that we can bring a level of intentionality into living that. And I think that's really where this leaning in section is going to, is to think about, what we can do to stay mindful of staying motivated. So Jen, just wanted to set the table with that.
Yeah, so I think we all think about setting our intentions, but then it's kind of like taking that next step of like, what are we leaning into this week? I know for me personally, I have really recognized that I have to figure out how to add the things in my life that are purposeful. And then I also have to figure out, how am I going to kind of take away some of those things where you carry it, you know, that even though you can look like you're carrying it well, it's still heavy. And so this is really going to be something I'm leaning into this week. Or what areas that I can really do to fill that heart and your mind? And then what are areas that are kind of like too much noise that kind of bring you down? So those are my lean ins this week. Dr. Phipps, you have any setting intentions for your leaning in this week?
You know what? You set it up perfectly. I'm going to really focus on listening to people and making sure that I'm my best self so that I can be there to listen for other people.
Love it.
I'll throw mine in and say that given the quote, I'm going to focus in a little bit more on humor this week, because sometimes I like thinking deeply, and I like being kind of emotional about wearing my heart on my sleeve a little bit. And sometimes it's good to just like take a light moment and laugh, like this set of threads that are coming in the comments. Jen's hair actually is
oh my God.
a recurring topic on our live. And so these comments are
I'm wearing a hat from now on. I am not. You guys, this is so crazy. Debbie.
Humor.
Heather knows me too, and she knows right now I just want to just be like, I'm done. See you.
Nope. Bring it. Bring your light, Jen. Bring your light.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Oh, that's so cool. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. And so here we go. Yep, started. There we go. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate that. Well, that being said, Heather, if we would like to continue to learn from you, where should we turn for that?
Well, you can always follow me on Twitter at HCPhipps, but I do have a blog, and my blog is heathercphipps.com. Put a C in there. Okay. HeatherCPhipps.com. I don't know what Heather Phipps is. Not my fault if that goes someplace crazy. HeatherCPhipps.com. I don't blog every week, but I try to blog most weeks. I have some good friends who've given me grace and said, you know what, it's okay if Sunday morning at 8 o'clock there isn't always a blog. But I do try Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock to have a blog. So a little fun.
Terrific. Well, that being said, I got a couple more comments. I always like to honor those and bring those in. You got some advocates for the blog, which is terrific. A number of folks have checked that out. And so, you've got some love there from those folks and from us really for kicking this first Monday motivation off with us. And expect 2 weeks time. We'll be back with a new guest that week and maybe some more ESU friends. And are just really grateful to everybody that tuned in. Hopefully this can be a small part in kickstarting your Monday and looking forward to serving others in the unique role and ways in which we get to in education. So from all of us, thank you and have a terrific week.
Bye, everybody.